Imagine life without the internet. I know it's a frightening thought. Believe it or not, there was a time where we didn't have the internet.
That's right, kids. At one point, we would have to go to the library and look things up. An encyclopedia.
We had to decide if we wanted to be on the phone or on the internet. You couldn't be on both at the same time.
Very true. It's so true.
I can't
and when
tell
you did connect, it'd be all like, whee!
Oh, that sound. Oh, that dial-up.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Who's on the phone?
The fax
I'm not.
machine
I'm on
sound.
the internet. I'm on the World Wide Web.
Oh, man. My grandma would be so upset. She'd be like, I've been trying to call y'all for the past 3 hours. And I'm like, sorry, Grandma, I'm on the internet.
You know, it's funny. The internet as we know it now has really only been around maybe 30 years, 25 to 30 years. The internet, I mean, okay, I jumped on in 1994. That's when I bought my first computer.
I was a sophomore in high school.
I know. You were young. We get it. You were a chitlin then, okay? But honestly, the whole internet really began, the beginnings of the internet happened like in the 60s with ARPANET. It was a whole military thing. Mm-hmm. They wanted to join computers, et cetera, and it all evolved into what we have now. Mm-hmm. I don't think even in their wildest dreams that they imagine what it could be now, because internet is all encompassing now, not just the United States, but all over the world.
So what did we do? What are some of the things that you did like before internet was a thing?
We grew up on a farm, so we had cattle to deal with. We had, What's so funny about that? We did.
Nothing. It's just like it's so simple.
I mean, it wasn't like we hopped on our bikes and rode around the neighborhood. We'd hop on our bike and take the gravel down a mile to see if our neighbors were home, because we had a party line, meaning multiple households had the same phone line. So if our neighbor, Miss Ismay, was on the phone and she would be, we would then just hop on our bikes and ride the quarter or the 3/4 of a mile down to see if the Wilson kids were available to play. And if they weren't, well, then we hopped on our bikes and we pedaled on gravel, which is no treat, on back home.
See, that sounds like me.
Erin was just a simple country girl.
Yes, yeah.
We'd fish sometimes.
Yeah.
We did have a lake, so we would fish.
I grew up like out of city limits, but in like a cul-de-sac. So like we could still like launch fireworks off and stuff like in our neighborhood, and no one would care.
Sticking it to the man.
Yeah. So we always lived like by a farmer as well, so tons of cows and stuff, and we had a fence. We tie like a ton of bottle rockets on there, and my dad always had this like butane blowtorch. We'd it just launched like a ton of them off.
Nice.
You know? So we do that. I'd be riding my bike around. I was never home. I basically woke up in the morning, I got dressed, and outside I was, and I didn't come back home until like dinner time.
Now, did you have a cell phone with you?
No.
See, so if there was a problem, you had to find a phone booth or something like that.
Either that, or normally how we do it is I would go to my buddy's house and I would just use their phone and I would just call back home and be like, hey mom, I'm having lunch, at Dakota's house, or I'm having lunch at Casey's today, something like that.
See, there was a time, again, we had to pay bills by mail. You had to get your bill and write it up, put it in the mailbox and everything.
You actually had to do these things?
Those were the days, though, where I'm telling you, if you owe two things, if you owe the electric bill and say the, give me another bill. The
utility.
Well,
that's basically the electric bill, isn't it? Water bill.
Okay.
Sewer.
Then the electric says, hey, your payment is due. Oh, I said, I must have sent that to the water company. So you got a little extra few days of grace. They don't buy that now, So that was one way you could do it, before the internet.
No, are you kidding? I mean, my water company, I never received my bill in the mail once. Next thing I knew, this happened once. Next thing I know, they're like threatening to turn off my water. And I'm like, shouldn't you like a well check since I'm always paying my bill? I mean,
instead of just shut it off, maybe be like, is she okay?
Yeah, exactly.
She normally does pay her bill.
She's very unlike her. She's never been late. She's never not paid. Maybe we should send somebody to check on it. Nope, they were going to turn off our water.
If there was no internet, I'm telling you, it's like if the internet disappeared for a week, there would be mass panic.
Oh,
there really would. Because we are and I'm saying this as somebody who remembers well before we would panic. We wouldn't know what to do. Seriously, we've become so dependent on it.
traveling was way different back in the day. Like I remember,
get a travel agent,
yeah,
you know?
you had to have a travel agent. You used to do all this stuff when you go on vacation. What I love is like when you were lost, you were genuinely lost. You were in another state. You had to just go into a gas station, buy a map, and be like, how do I get you? Normally you're talking like the people inside. You're like, how do I get to Highway 50? And the people will be like, oh, you go down a mile this way. Like you actually, that's when you had to ask.
See a such and such. Yeah.
You actually had to make physical,
human
contact.
Interaction was way better back in the day.
One of my favorite things to do as a kid, I collected paper road maps because again, I had wanderlust as a kid. I grew up in New Jersey, but I wondered about all these other places around the country.
Yeah.
And if I had a map of that state, it was like, oh, look, I have an Indiana map here. I added it to my collection. That was like a big
exotic land of Indiana.
I'm telling you. And every time you went into a gas station, they handed those out free.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now, it doesn't have all the other states, but I'm saying if you happen to go into that state, grab the road map from that.
Yeah.
And I had quite the collection going when I was a kid, but what a nerd, I know.
So MapQuest was indeed a thing, and I remember my parents would print out, so like we'd have all these printer paper. They'd print out, so we'd know where we were going. Right. Where it's like, so now you got GPS, but it was like, okay, we got to the end, we took the left turn, next page.
Right.
But it was countless fights between my parents. They'd have the map sprawled out on the hood.
How to fold a map?
Lost.
That's a skill.
We were lost.
How to fold a map.
My mom bickering with my dad. You missed the turn like 3 miles ago. No, this is the road. We're on the right one. It was great. You don't have that anymore because you have GPS, right? People would not know what to do without GPS. People would be so lost.
No. And if you did do, if you were lucky enough to come along the age of MapQuest, the longer or the more pages you had, the more extensive your trip was.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I remember once we printed off, it was 33 pages. And it's because it was taking us all around this summer road construction. Apparently, just about every state we were visiting had summer road construction.
I challenge almost any young person now. When I say young, I mean like, say, 20 or below, to show me how to use a roadmap, an actual physical paper roadmap. Find us on here. Tell me how we're gonna. It's like it's a skill that's lost.
It's a lost art. Yeah. I agree with you. Because that's one of those things where it's like if you didn't know how to read a map, you were just you had to go in and ask for directions of people because some places are very confusing. Like you get anywhere that has like a clover design, where you're just like, there's 15 exits. Which one do I take?
Those are the worst.
We're talking about life before the internet and things that we used to do and things that we remember. And you guys were coming of age already when the internet was especially you, Jordan. Internet was already there at that point. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Erin was like a young woman when it was really happening.
I had a couple of friends in grade school who actually had home computers, just a few. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until I was maybe a sophomore or junior in high school that more and more of my friends' families had home computers. Mm-hmm. Anytime I had to use a computer, it was at the computer lab at school, and I hated every second of it.
A buddy of mine had, he was on CompuServe, if anybody remembers CompuServe, which was like similar, like AOL, that kind of thing. But he had a computer at his house. This is like 1982. Erin, I know you were 4 years old. Mm-hmm, and I'd go over his house, and he had a Star Trek game on there. Oh. So we'd sit there, but it was just like little symbols. It wasn't. Yeah. It was black and white. It was ASCII sort of stuff. But he goes, okay, we can't stay on too long because he goes, it was like however much per minute. He goes, my parents are going to kill me, so I can only go on for like short amounts of time because it was so expensive. But like, oh my God, we're playing the Star Trek game.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, you want to play Star Trek again? Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble.
In high school, my friend Andrea, her mom had Myst, which was a computer game. It was, I don't know, like you had to go to different rooms in this house and find certain things. And I remember Andrea trying to teach me how to play it, and I'm like, you got to dumb it down. And then she taught me how to play Mahjong, and I'm like,
yes.
Hey. Old Lady Hart found her niche.
I'll go even further back in college. Now you got to remember, I left college like before 1980. Okay, but I used to go into the computer lab and play a game called Adventure. Mm-hmm. And again, that was just a graphics game. So you tell it what do you want to do. You find yourself in the woods. What do you do? Go left, You say, go left. Type left. You are now facing a dwarf holding a rod. What do you do? And I say, kill the dwarf. And then it would get snarky. Why do you want to kill the dwarf? He hasn't done anything to you. That kind of. Plus, you have nothing to kill the dwarf with, or whatever. I don't know.
The dwarf drops 500 gold shillings.
Maybe he just wanted to be your pal.
That's
you were
right.
just trying to ruin it.
Could have had a dwarf friend,
Yes.
but forget it now.
You know, I'll tell you the computer games that I grew up with, and so here's the thing. Like, what I noticed is
It was called Adventure. That's what the game was called, Adventure.
So when I was growing up, what was really popular was like the I Spy games, where you'd click around. Like it's like basically.
We used to play those in the back seat of the car.
It's like, okay, find the golden key in like this cluttered room, right?
Yeah.
So it was that. There's this game that I used to love called Pajama Sam. I used to love that game.
I remember the
You kind of
name.
vaguely remember that. And then Spy Fox was also super cool. They're all like click adventure games where it's like there was like some scenario that you were in and you had to get the fox. Like for example, he's like a spy and you're like in this room and there are people getting ready to get in it and you have to figure out how to hide or how to escape the room and stuff. And there's like, oh, the window is jammed. And then but you found a tool to unscrew the screws and now you can get out the window and stuff like that. It's super fun.
So I remember in the school library, we would play sometimes Oregon Trail.
Oh, we did that.
yeah.
We did that
Yeah.
too.
Very,
I died of
very
cholera
primitive.
like every time.
Or dysentery.
Yeah.
Dysentery.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, and it's so funny because now you look back at that and I don't remember the library letting us play for very long. So, it was probably like maybe 20 minutes or something like that, But I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is so advanced because we were telling them
sure.
it would give us an option and, you had to, it's kind of like a choose your own fate. If you remember like the choose your own fate books, it was kind of
It's like that. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to look ahead to the future. And whenever something seemed futuristic or advanced, or I'd be, whoo, that's 1980s stuff. Like that. That was like because it was so
1980s stuff.
far away. One great aspect of the time before the internet, this is before smartphones, before cell phones or anything like that. Caller ID. We didn't have caller ID.
No.
Because we had phones on the wall. Mm-hmm. And
this was back in the day. You called your buddy's house.
Right.
The dad or mom was answering. You had to talk to dad or mom before
Right.
you got to your
Somebody
friend. You know what I mean?
else,
You're like, hi, yeah, can I talk to Casey?
no, but that's it. I mean, when the phone is ringing, you had no idea
Who it was.
It could have been Beelzebub on the other side. You answered the phone. You took your chances, man.
Yeah.
You rolled the dice,
And God forbid you had someone call that you kind of liked or whatever. And it's like, of course, your parents
Your
answer the
mom.
phone.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, oh, you got little Billy's on the phone for you. And you're like, oh, it's like, oh, Stacy's calling you. Get off the phone. Because mom's on the other side listening. What's Stacy saying?
Oh, my mom was.
What's Stacy saying?
She loved. I've told you guys this story before, but I had a very high-pitched voice as a kid. And so I'd answer the phone. Hello? Hi, is your dad there? No, he's not home right now. Okay, well, who's this? This is Kevin. All right, Karen, will you tell him I called? Not Karen, it's Kevin. I'm a boy.
That happened to me too.
Kevin was the original Karen.
Anytime I'd answer the phone and they thought it was normally my mom's friends, I was thinking I was my mom. And then they just start spilling into their story.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, let me get my mom for you real quick. Because it's like, I'm getting information I probably shouldn't be getting.
The mature days of Jordan J. Look at that.
Yes.
Wow.
I love to, I got to watch the internet really grab people, okay? Because, people had, when I was growing up, home computers, but no one really used them for very long because, again, you have to get on it and then you couldn't use your phone. No one could call you.
Right.
It took forever. The internet was super slow. So, when you did get on it, people only used it for, a very short amount of time. It was like they needed to do whatever task they needed to do, and then they were off it. Didn't get on the computer until they needed to do whatever else again.
Graphics and pictures took forever to load.
Yes. So, really, it's funny, even having those, growing up, we didn't use it as much. The fact, now you're on the internet all the time. But back in the day, it was only when you really needed to be on there.
Right.
Bought my first computer in 1994, $600. I remember that because we set it on the dining room table. Our house in Middletown, Pennsylvania. We lived outside Harrisburg, the capital of Harrisburg. And I started, and I had my account, and I sent an email. I forget where I sent it to. But it was out into the Ethernet, and I started getting some spam responses back, and I was so excited. I'm like, I'm getting email.
Yeah.
People I don't even know are emailing me. You know,
because for the first time, the entire world was connected. Like anyone could communicate with one another, and it was cool because that had never, until that point, that had never been a thing, right?
You have to have an email address and everything, you know? When was your first email address, Aaron? When you worked here?
No.
Did you have one?
No, I had one before I worked here.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was like maybe mid-20s or so.
Mm-hmm. I remember my very first email was an AOL. I had an AOL email. And I also remember back in the day, I had a MySpace when that was like the thing.
Tom was everybody's friend.
And by the way, that's when MySpace was super popular too. It was like AOL, MySpace. This was way before Facebook or anything like that. It wasn't even a thought yet. MySpace was like the social media thing to use. That's where everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, I went to this person went to high school."
My wife and I have a friend. She's rather elderly now, but she started on AOL, and I think she's probably still on AOL. And that was the only thing she would ever do. She would, it had to be within AOL. I said, Dot, there's a whole wide world out there on the internet. You don't have to be stuck on the AOL reservation, But
right.
I think now she's still just on AOL. That's all.
Whatever makes you happy.
I guess.
Then Internet Explorer came out, and that was a whole thing.
That was a game changer.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
It really was.
I remember. And I remember, too, it was like my dad, it was like that came out, and then that's when like other browsers started coming out. And I think the next one that came out was like Firefox. Because that was like one of the original ones, too.
And Firefox, though, was not Microsoft.
No,
they were like a competitor.
It was like a competitor.
Microsoft, yeah.
And that was like before Google Chrome, anything like that. So like these were like the first internet browsers, and they were like very generic. Like you clicked on it, it was like white. Like it wasn't like they didn't have like the bells and whistles we got now.
Even Google, early Google, if you look at their interface, it was so basic.
It was very basic. You had a search bar. Yeah, I mean, basically what it looks like, it's like the Google and the search bar. That's all Google was. That was Google. There was no, Gmail, all this stuff. It was a website. It was a search engine. That's all you needed it for.
Yep.
Ask Jeeves. Remember that?
Yep,
with the butler. Yeah. They just shut that down, by the way.
Did they
hear
really?
about that? Just Jeeves has finally died.
Oh, no.
It used to be on we're talking about life before the internet. If you wanted to watch a movie on Friday night, you had to go to the video store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, you remember that.
You're going to Blockbuster. You're going to
rent a movie.
Yeah.
Now we got Netflix. And I will tell you, my wife and I, we were one of the original Netflix test people.
Oh, yeah,
This is when they were sending the discs in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you interested? I go, yeah. So we used to get the kids' cue, what they wanted. Okay, and the next movie we get is going to be this one, and then after that it's going to be this one. And that was the way it was for a long time.
And they used to not even have plastic containers. It used to be these.
It was an envelope,
paper envelope sleeves, and it's like that's going to protect the disc.
It did.
Yeah. But when you were the 15th person getting the movie, you got this nasty, soggy, crumbled Here's what you get your disc, and you're like,
what were they eating? Hey, Mel Gibson's face looks weird too. You know what I mean? It's
but primitive times.
No, man, it's forget Netflix. I mean, who knew? Again, Netflix was going to become such a juggernaut in
the fact that you could rent the movies from Netflix and not spend $20 because you're talking you go in, you were getting VHSs. You get 2 or 3 and you were spending $15-$20 for the rental, and then you didn't bring it back in 2 days. Boom, fee, and it was insane. It was $10.
Netflix allowed you to keep that movie as long.
Yeah,
you can have it for a month. They don't care.
They don't care.
But
no charge.
When you
that
finally
was
send it back, that's when you get the next one in your queue.
You get $10 a day. You'd sit there. You'd be like, I gotta go. $50.
Can you see Netflix now? If you were watching a show and you didn't quite finish it yet, and you just tried to click on another show. Oh, no, sorry, you haven't finished that show yet. Wait a minute. I thought this was a different arrangement now.
People don't even realize. You used to have to rewind your movies. You don't have to do that anymore.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah,
kind, rewind.
That's something that you don't even know. You just pop the disc in every time. That's not a thing. You used to have tape. And when the tape was all on this side, you were mad because you're like, it's going to take like 30 minutes to rewind this.
Probably, I don't know if it's the biggest, but probably it's got to be top 2 or 3 of things that the internet brought to us was shopping. I mean, even before Amazon.
Yeah.
Just shopping on like eBay and all that kind of thing.
eBay used to be the thing. It was like the king of shopping.
But if I wanted like a small electronic piece of some kind, I had to go out to Radio Shack or wherever, and go into the electronics department. Now, just hop on my phone and do a search for it and get different prices and availabilities and everything else.
Heck, now you can get stuff delivered to you the same day, within the hour. It's insane.
My dad is super impressed with Amazon. My parents do not have an Amazon account, so he'll, I think we were out there Saturday night, and he was wanting a chair, wanting to get a different chair for my mom.
Right.
And so we were looking around, and I go, well, do you want to go somewhere? Nah. Get on your Ouija board. That's what he calls it.
Your Ouija board.
And so
get on your Ouija board.
Got onto Amazon, started looking around. Okay, well, here are your options. Oh, I really like that one. Okay, well, this is how much it is. Oh, could you order that? Yes, I can. So I ordered it, and he's like, oh, so can you have it sent to me? Yes, I can. And so he was very impressed that I could, 1, order it right there. 2,
amazing.
It's paid for. 3, it's going to be sent to him.
That's incredible.
That blows his mind now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really does.
Well, I mean, again, you can shop for just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're looking for a home, you got all the Zillows and everything else like that. Although it's funny, even after all that, we still depend on real estate agents.
Yeah,
because
we do.
That is their area of expertise.
Yeah.
But what's nice is now, though, you don't if you in that case, you don't have to go to every single house and look at it.
You can look
at the pictures online and at least be like, I already know this isn't my thing.
Well, they used to always have their book, of course, too, with a picture of the book.
Yeah.
But the house, rather.
Yeah, but but now, like, how detailed they can get with all the photos and everything,
right.
It's like, because they just show you some of the better ones. You know, you can actually get the whole view of the house.
And as I mentioned earlier, travel agents. Okay, we don't need travel agents in that same way in terms of booking flights and everything else. We all do that online. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about a tour of some kind, then again, you use their expertise, and they
for sure
they know what they're talking about. A lot of them have already been on that trip. You can search for, you can buy clothing online. My wife the other day, she was looking at a dress that she liked, and it put her in the dress in the picture, like showed what she looked like.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
See,
and it's accurate.
That is the one thing, though, about like online shopping that I don't like, is because like I like to see how it fits. I like to see what it looks like. I want
to feel the fabric.
I want to feel it. I'm very much like, I'm picky about that kind of stuff. So It's like, I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it looks like. And I don't know. To me, it's like getting it and then trying it on. It doesn't, and then like having to send it back and like reship it. That's a hassle to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then to just go into the store and being like, nope, I need the large. You know what I mean, or something like that. Like, it's just, I like in-person shopping when I'm buying clothes. Now everything else,
if it's a shirt though, like a T-shirt or whatever, I'm pretty much, I know my size. I'm a large. I like large, and not that I'm a large guy, but I like the looseness and But you can. Things can screw up like that too, for sure.
Me and my dad was just talking about this, of like what all you can do now, like with internet and everything, or just not even that, like even in like stores these days, like we have access to whatever we want. You want a pineapple? Go to the store, buy a pineapple. You realize, like, back in the day, if you wanted a pineapple, you only could go to place like tropical areas that held pineapples because like they didn't have those here in the Midwest. Pineapples?
What? Are you kidding?
So, like, unless you got it in a can.
Yeah, the fact that you can just go to a location. Right. Now, don't even have to go to a location. Pull up your, what'd your dad call it? Use your Ouija board and boop, 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 pineapple delivered to my house.
That's it. No, I mean, the internet has given us constant source of information. And we have, you think about it, we have the entire world's knowledge in our pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, that should blow our minds.
And it's like, I feel
50
like
years ago they didn't have that. 100, whatever. That
has to be too much. Like, in my opinion, like that has to be. I don't think people were.
Well, we don't retain it. That's the problem.
We weren't designed to take that much.
I think it overwhelms a lot of people.
I think so too.
Gives people anxiety. I think it's like too much and too much information and too many choices all at once.
But if you wanted to look at like a tidbit of information, you know, like, okay, who won the 1968 World Series? Oh, Detroit Tigers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at that online, if you didn't know that, you're not necessarily going to save that. See, I only know that just from, you know, my life. But I mean, something like, okay, where's Tom Petty from? I don't know, just throw it out there. Oh, I can find that out immediately if I want. But somebody was saying, the comedian was saying, like, you know what, there's something about not knowing that, and you just carry it around with you. And then someday you meet somebody who says something about Tom Petty. Oh, yeah, he's from Florida. That's where he's from. There you go. I didn't know that. But see, again, we have instant information now. So,
it's like a blessing and a curse, in my opinion, right? Because it's like
was from Florida, by the way. He's dead. So.
Yeah. So it's like, do you have access to all this really useful information, which can be a good thing? It's also, to me, a bad thing because you could get, like Aaron said, too much overload. You kind of shut down a little bit. Like, you want to know news? Yes. People used to like watch TV for the news. Now people just get on their phone for the news. But you get like too much news. You know what I mean? Yeah. You almost get like too much. Like, whoa! Now I know way too much. I know everything going on in the world. I just wanted to know this one thing.
And it's at your fingertips 24/7.
It is.
It never takes a break. It never rests. It's always there.
I was telling Aaron the other day. I go, the whole concept of. I mean, this was my parents' generation. It was like, oh, well, I have to watch the news or I have to watch the weather report on TV to see. No, you don't. I mean, you know, the whole idea of we're going to watch somebody stand up in front of a map and point at the low pressure system. We got it on our phone right now. I can tell you.
Or get the newspaper.
Exactly.
Even if weirdly
newsprint. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, if you're in the newsprint business, it's dying. There's only a certain segment of the population that still wants to have that newspaper in front of them.
Well, I mean, when's the last time you saw a newspaper in someone's house? I got to be honest.
My brothers.
When
they deliver it.
Just like go to my aunt or uncle's house. Yeah, it's like, I'm not seeing the paper at anyone's house. And then I don't even see, you used to see like little kiosks of newspapers, 50 cents. Half the time they were free. Yeah. You don't even see those out and about anymore.
You see those in the cities, though.
Do you still see them in the cities?
If you go into New York, Boston, Baltimore, Philly. If you're downtown and all, you do see. I mean, I can go into like a convenience store here and find St. Louis.
I just feel like there's way less of those. Like, they're very rare to see.
Yeah, and their subscription rates have gone way, way, way down. I mean, who's paying for that anymore? I don't know.
No kidding.
And something else we have lost with the internet: privacy.
Yes.
There is no such thing as privacy anymore. Everybody knows where you are. If you have your phone on you, everybody knows where you are.
Yeah, don't be doing no crimes, because guess what? They can ping your phone and be like, well, really? Because on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, you were at this location.
That's right.
That's where your phone pinged,
Now, let's face it, our devices are always listening to us. I really don't think we're too far away from them listening all the time.
We joke about that, but
to alert authorities when they hear crime. I don't think we're that far off.
Remember Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
Yeah,
that was the whole premise of that. They knew ahead of time before somebody was going to do something.
Well, and that's kind of happening now with ChatGPT and like on the AI stuff. Have you noticed that?
Oh, don't get me. One of these days we're going to have to talk about ChatGPT and all those separately because that's a topic in itself.
They'll if you're doing something strange, it'll alert authorities. Just letting you know.
Now there are benefits of that too. I mean, I can tell you, I can open my phone right now and tell you where my wife is. She's home.
Yep.
But, if she goes out to the store, I see it on there. If I travel down the road, she sees where I am. So there's never a question of, ooh, where is he? Where is she? I know where they are.
Internet also has made medical, like, in my opinion, like, you can really, people are good at self-diagnosing, like, what's wrong with them. Like, and I'm not saying you don't need to go to a doctor. You still do. But what I'm saying is, you do because of the care you need. You know what I mean? It's like, you can do, but like, giving yourself a diagnosis, you can be pretty accurate with what you have.
Jordan and I had a conversation yesterday. I'm not going to say what it was, but this is going on. You go, what? I go, yeah. And then he started looking up, reasons why it's happening. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember?
I remember. Yeah.
Okay, green?
Yes.
Okay. So and I go, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. So we still haven't figured it out. But I feel fine, just so you know.
It's just, it's like I said, it's just one of those, to me, that's like a blessing of like, you can kind of figure out what's wrong with you. Now, again, we still need doctors and stuff like that because they trained on how to heal you from these kind of things, right? But I think that was a positive of the internet, of being able to have access to that kind of information to at least know maybe what's wrong with you. That's nice.
Like health portals. I think that's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to email my doctor or my care team. Maybe I just want to talk to my doctor.
That too. Yeah, that too.
You know? And half the time I can't remember what my password is to get into my health portal.
No care for you.
You know, it's ridiculous. And also walking out from a doctor's visit, and then all of a sudden you've got a text message going, all right, you owe us money now. And I'm like, wait a minute, insurance hasn't even processed this.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Or you're like on your way to like the appointment and you get like 15 calls. You're like, I am on my way.
Yeah.
Do we need to cancel? I'm literally downstairs.
When I walk out of a doctor's appointment and, she'll ask me at the window, okay, do you want to schedule your follow-up for blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Okay, here we go. As I'm walking out the door, I go, thank you for scheduling, blah, blah, blah. It's on my phone. It's already on my, okay, well, I like that. Mm-hmm. But I understand. I appreciate what Aaron's saying. There is a certain loss of
human interaction.
Yeah, personal touch when you're doing it like that.
Well, I just think that like them seeing you and being able to like, I feel like they could diagnose you a little bit better than like even like video, right? It's just like, you can see me, but can you really tell what's going on with me? Like, where's your... I feel like that's very much a hands-on kind of profession, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we all know what happened to me in 2013. I had pulmonary embolism. Right. All of my symptoms presented as a chest cold. That's not common.
AI wasn't going to...
So if I would have done a teledoc or whatever, I wouldn't have made it through the night.
One thing we can be happy about, although I know they're trying this, but AI can still not do an operation on you.
Yet.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
That's a scary thought. Like, just being the very first guy under the knife of that operation has to be just, you're putting a lot of faith.
It'll be Kevin. He thinks driverless cars are cool. He'll probably think that's cool, too.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Absolutely. So,
what could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
I guess you're right. If
you got some happy memories of life before the internet, or maybe you're like, finally, it's happened. I heard about this my whole childhood. I'm finally here. It is kind of, I know we've talked about a lot of the, excuse me. I should have Chat GPT look at that cough thing. I know we've talked about a lot of the negatives. Honestly, there's a lot of good that has come out of the internet. I mean, being able to look at people, medically speaking, looking at people in other countries in remote areas. They can diagnose them. They can They can talk to a doctor where they would not have been able to before. Drones, that kind of thing. So it is kind of an amazing time to be alive.
Internet has made our lives significantly easier and very much streamlined. Of like the information that we have access to, connecting to people. I mean, there's a lot of good the internet has definitely done.
I know there are people who buck against it, but it's like, dude, it's here. It's not going anywhere, and it's just going to leave you behind if you don't, you kind of go along with the tide, so to speak. So,
I liked being inaccessible.
I said that is true.
That's part of my youth.
Having more privacy was nice, I will say.
Right,
you know what I mean?
You could seriously, you could disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where you could leave your town, whatever, and go somewhere else. Get a whole new identity, whatever. It was easier to do. If you tweak it right, you still can, but it's a lot harder now. It really is.
A lot of obstacles,
with cameras everywhere, and So, well, there you go. It's life before the internet. Love to hear from you. Shoot us an email if you'd like. It's catcountry@mailzimmer.com. There it is, and we hope you'll give us a subscribe as well. Right?
Yes, please do.
So there you go. Did I say Catcast? I think I did.
It's all right.
The name changed. I forgot. It's The Kast. Kast. I need one of you to slap me every time I say that other word.
The Kast.
No, not the Kast. Not the
Cat
other
Kast anymore.
Yeah. That's our latest edition of the Kast. Thanks for watching and listening.
Goodbye.